Hello and welcome to the February update video for Doodleo's development blog journey. I just got through recording an entire update for this, but I lost internet connection while I was recording, and because I'm using a program that doesn't actually save the video file locally, I'm going to have to redo this. So luckily I wrote down some notes of what I wanted to discuss. So I'll start off with what I've done in the past month. So if you remember the last video, there wasn't actually anything to show tangibly. So there was just a bunch of ideas that I had for the project in the future, what I think the core features are going to be. Oh, I'm wearing the same hoodie as last video. But there wasn't really much to show. So I'll start by showing you what I've done since that video, and starting with the first ever nightly build version of the game, or it's hard to even call this a game because all it is really is wah, wah. It's literally just doodling, which is a core feature of Doodleo, so we got to have it. But even though this is just scribbling on a white screen, it was enough motivation to give me the confidence to say, hey, I can actually make this thing. I think I have what it takes, or I think it's possible with my skill set, because I'm not an expert in GameMaker Studio. Weirdly enough, I've been using it ever since GameMaker 7. Me and my brothers would make games using it, but never really got super serious. So it's time to actually level up and learn how to make games for real. So after I did that basic drawing version I just showed you, I went ahead and started planning what I want the UI to look like. And I think that's actually the correct move right now. So most people probably wouldn't think about UI until they have more core features down. But because Doodleo is A, web-based, and B, a single aspect ratio, single resolution, and won't be changing the scale at all, I thought it would be important to set up exactly how I want all the toolbars, all the UI beforehand, just to down to the pixel, so I can save time later on in the project. So I'm working in Paint.net, and I just started planning where all the buttons are going. My canvas size is pretty much set. This can't change later, so I just want to have it all done now. And you can see the green is where the word of the round is going to be, how much time is left. This is going to be the clear the screen. These will be all the drawing buttons, and maybe a paint bucket. I haven't actually decided. I left some extra space just in case. These are going to be some settings buttons, maybe leave the match. I'm not sure where these are going to be yet. Just wanted to have some extra room. This might be the send message for the chat, and then I have I kind of modeled this based off Scriblio, but the main difference is I wanted to have more room for the actual canvas. So I took out the scoreboard and put in this kind of tabbing out window where we can tab in and out of the chat and the scoreboard. And my hope is that at the end of each round, it will just display who went up and who went down after that round. So there's no need to have an entire scoreboard. It'll just save room, more simplistic UI. So here are the buttons you could use to toggle that on and off, and you can just chat as you please and check the score as you please. So that's kind of the plan. And then I went ahead and created that in GameMaker. So I'll show you what I have so far as of today. And as you can see, it's a lot more than the original test version I put in the browser. But it's got the clear canvas button. It's got a bunch of different sizes of the brush you can choose from. And of course, it's got 24 colors. Which I think is more than most games have, because I planned the UI out beforehand. I think I'm going to be able to keep all these colors and extra. I might even have room for an area over here where the user could pick whatever color they want, like a custom color picker. We'll see if I get that far, but I'm pretty happy with the current state of the game. It's got all the basics down. So now this is you could technically play Doodleo, just with it's missing all like the chat or whatever. You could just play with your friends without actually having anyone keep score. But it's really just a drawing pad, which is fine because that's all I wanted to accomplish in February. I definitely accomplished my goals, um, but it's still pretty basic, and we have a long, long way to go. So, time to show you some of the issues I was running into this month. So you'll notice I was actually running that in Windows, and I'll show you what the issue is running this on HTML5, which I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on. Basically, all of the shapes that I'm drawing in Windows are not converting to the same sizes, or something's wrong, like anti-aliasing or something. I don't know, but if you look at these, I can't zoom in, it messes everything up. If you look at these circles that are supposed to be drawing, it's actually a square and a pixel. So that's supposed to be a circle with a radius of 3, and these buttons down here are supposed to be rectangular, curved out rectangles, but they just look like something's wrong, something's messy, and it's not porting over exactly. Even the drawing feels a little off, but it still works. I was actually surprised at how similar it was to the Windows version, so I'm not too disappointed. I'll show you one of the things that I was looking into fixing it. Still have a long way to go, but when I apply WebGL disabled, I get kind of the opposite issue. Instead of everything being blurry or out of scale, everything becomes super smooth. So now if you look down at the buttons, these are like extreme anti-aliasing, or whatever that feature is called, but it creates a new issue. So the drawing is super smooth, but it actually starts highlighting. If you pay attention, you can see that's the individual circles that are drawn at every game tick. So the way this actually works is every game tick, it checks where my mouse is while I'm holding it down. And because obviously it's not checking it as fast as I can move it, it's just drawing a line in between every point where it updated the game at that tick, and just draws a line in between it. But with this version in HTML5 with the WebGL disabled, the lines, the circles seem to be bigger than the actual lines, and it's creating some issues. Just drawing feels rigid when you go slow. Maybe I can get a better example here, but yeah, you can kind of see that's definitely an issue. And I tried fixing that by increasing the width of the actual line so that it would cover it up, but that just ended up making the corners kind of rigid. So yep, that's an issue. I'm gonna have to fix that. So that'll be my first big issue. I haven't run into anything huge, but that's kind of my biggest challenge at the moment. Let's see what else. All right, that's kind of everything that I've done so far. Now I just want to talk about what the goals are for March. So I did that in, I guess, 5 different Saturdays. I got lucky on leap year, so this will go up tonight and it'll still be a February video. But I've got 4 Saturdays in March, and before I get carried away with all the other features of the game, what I really need to add is networking. I need to make this multiplayer in some way before I get carried away with, adding a paint bucket, which is still missing, adding, man, there's so many things I could add right now. But before I get into all of that, I need to just get the core aspect of the game down, which is multiplayer. Like, I've never done networking in GameMaker. I've never done networking ever. Well, that's not true, but it's going to be a challenge. I'm dedicating the entire month of March to this because I do think it's going to be, I really don't know what to expect, to be completely honest. But the plan is to host a cloud server in Amazon Azure, or Azure. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Or maybe not Amazon, sorry, Microsoft. Another option would be Amazon AWS. And basically host the server there, develop a custom client for Linux, and have that client running 24/7 on some sort of compute server on Azure, and then have my actual game client connect to that. So I'm going to have to create a new project for the server and have that server run 24/7 on, or have that client run 24/7 on an actual server. I'm still not exactly sure how it's going to work, but I'm excited to figure it out. So I'm probably going to go with Azure, and that's because they also offer this Bing spell check API. This is going to be an important part of Doodleo because I think it's just like I can spell anything I want and not type anything wrong. This is like the idea for Doodleo's spell correct feature. I can spell anything I want and not type anything wrong. Wow, perfect. This is why I'm excited about Azure, because imagine how much faster you can submit your answers in Doodleo compared to like other games. You have to like double check that you spelled it correctly in case like you enter it wrong, and then someone's going to steal your answer because you're not. It's the whole spelling bee thing. But yeah, I don't want this game to be a spelling bee, so I want to somehow integrate this API into Doodleo. And if I'm gonna be using Azure, because I don't think AWS has something like this, then I might as well host my server on here too. It would probably be a compute server. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that. I have 4 Saturdays to do that, so I don't know if this is like an unrealistic goal. I don't know if I can do this in one weekend. We're gonna find out. There's definitely plenty to do if I do finish in time, but that's kind of my goal for March. Yeah, hopefully I'll keep pushing out the next video. I mean, hopefully the next video will come out on the 28th. I need to set this ahead of time so I actually hold myself accountable. That's what these videos are for, after all. I need to make sure I actually do this stuff. So hopefully I'll publish on the 28th since there's no like weekend towards the end. I can't procrastinate any longer. So that is the goal, and I'll see you in the next video.